KAKU88.5FM/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
In exactly 15 seconds, we'll be on the air.
KAKU 88.5 FM.
Okay, here we go.
Kahului, Maui.
Quiet, please.
The voice of Maui.
You are listening to the Student of Wealth Radio Hour on KAKU 88.5 FM.
Aloha, aloha, aloha. Today we're going to be talking about protection before prosperity and why wealth begins with risk management. I mean, is your financial plan built on income or built on protection? You don't insure your phone because you expect it to break. You insure it because you can't afford the disruption. So why are you willing to risk the most valuable asset in your household, your income?
Yep, feel that rhythm, feel that vibe. We're aligning our spirits. Come on, let's jive. Aviala aloha, here to lift you high. With purpose and grace, we reach for the sky. Today I align with the path I was sent. No more chasing dollars, I'm writing the intent. Profit can wait, but my soul's at stake. I choose obedience, no more heartache. In clarity I walk, confusion's in the rear. With every step I take, I feel him near. Wisdom's in my worship, that's where I thrive. In the depths of my spirit, I truly come alive. I'm guided by his love, I'm covered in his grace. Everything that I am is in this holy space. I'm equipped for the journey, I'm ready to go. Kingdom wealth is alignment, let the blessings flow. I'm guided by his love, I'm covered in his grace. Everything that I am is in this holy space. I'm equipped for the journey, I'm ready to go. Kingdom wealth is alignment, let the blessings flow. What the world sees as profit, I see as the grind. Building up my treasures where the heart's aligned. I'm trusting in the Lord with all of my heart. Lean not to my understanding, that's where I start. Proverbs in my mind, guiding my way. Acknowledging him daily, come what may. Everything that's built through me will surely prosper because he's the foundation, the ultimate sponsor. I'm guided by his love, I'm covered in his grace. Everything that I am is in this holy space. I'm equipped for the journey, I'm ready to go. Kingdom wealth is alignment, let the blessings flow. I'm guided by his love, I'm covered in his grace. Everything that I am is in this holy space. I'm equipped for the journey, I'm ready to go. Kingdom wealth is alignment, let the blessings flow. So I gather my sisters in this joyful song. In the spirit of unity, we're where we belong. With faith in our hearts and love in our hands, we'll march together onward, united we stand. Blessings all around as we lift each other. In this gospel rhythm with sisters and brothers. Today I surrender, let go of the strife. Jesus is my guide, bringing forth new life. With purpose in my heart, I embrace the day. Obedience my anthem, I'm finding my way. Kingdom calls me higher with each step I take. In worship and praise, I'll never forsake. So here's a shout out to my sisters divine. God bless you all, let your spirit shine. I'm guided by his love, I'm covered in his grace. Everything that I am is in this holy space. I'm equipped for the journey, I'm ready to go. Kingdom wealth is alignment, let the blessings flow. I'm guided by his love, I'm covered in his grace. Everything that I am is in this holy space. I'm equipped for the journey, I'm ready to go. Kingdom wealth is alignment, let the blessings flow.
Aloha. Today's broadcast of Student of Wealth Radio is underwritten by Student of Wealth Hawaii, where we believe learning should do more than inform. It should prepare you to navigate life, leadership, and legacy with clarity and confidence. Through financial education, strategic planning, and purpose-driven entrepreneurship, we help individuals and business owners grow in all 7 dimensions of wealth while preparing for the life transitions that shape their financial future. To reserve your seat in our next free financial education webinar and explore the life stages that influence your path to long-term sustainability, visit studentofwealthhawaii.com. That is studentofwealthhawaii.com. Aloha, ladies. Aloha, aloha, aloha. You are tuned into Student of Wealth Radio Hour, the frequency of 7 dimensions of wealth, where stewardship becomes legacy. Welcome in, Queens. I, Aviella Aloha, the Woman's Wealth and Business Structure Clarity Agent, and your host on assignment today to connect, call in, and cultivate purpose-driven wealth creators for God's kingdom. So come on in for a clarity conversation about protection before prosperity as we uncover why wealth begins with risk management. As you know, we always like to invite God into the space. So right now, I want you to join me where you are in prayer. Lord, Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this opportunity to be here on today in front of whomever hears the sound of my voice, Lord God. I'm so happy and grateful for this assignment that you've given me to be a clarity agent for women who want wealth, for moms and wives and daughters, business owners, real estate acquisitioners, everyone who has an ear to listen. So, Lord, I just ask that you decrease me, Lord, and increase yourself in me. Let your purpose show up in today's session, Lord God, and let someone be blessed by the information that we have to give on today. God bless Maui. God bless Lahaina. God bless every individual here. And I thank you, Lord, again for this opportunity. So let's go. Amen. If you didn't know, you're listening to Kaku, Kaku 88.5 here on the island of Maui. Aloha, aloha, aloha. How is everybody doing out there? How's your week been? February has flown by. This is the last couple days left in the month, right? And we are getting ready to transition to a new month. So what is top of mind for you? I've been receiving a lot of feedback from various channels, from moms and wives and creatives, beauty business owners who are interested in having like a real community conversations around financial topics that are in alignment with life transitions, like preparing to move out of your home, or preparing to purchase a vehicle, or understanding your financial independence number and how to identify how much money you actually need to have to make sure you have not just enough, but more than enough to survive and thrive over time and build generational wealth. So today's topic, again, is focused on that. And by gosh, if any of you have topics that you'd like me to discuss, you can always go to the studentofwealthhawaii.com website and leave a message, or even join one of our next free financial education webinars. It's completely free. It's not a sales conversation. It's a conversation about real-time financial education topics that you, the listeners, and people who are responding by giving questions have asked. So it is geared towards making sure we get to talk about exactly what it is that you need information on now to make best decisions, for you can have the opportunity to lead your family in the direction you would like them to go. And so, on today, protection before prosperity, right? Now, if your income stopped today, how long do you think your family's lifestyle would continue without you? Whether you are a daughter who has responsibility or stewardship over parents, whether you are a wife who is wanting to protect your husband and have his back as he goes out to work and bring money in. Maybe you want to protect the money that he's bringing in, but also, protect the home, protect the things that the structure of your marriage. Maybe you are a business owner and you have partners or employees that you would like to protect, as the asset itself involves more than you. So if you were to disappear or your income were to disappear, other individuals would have a very real world effect with what they're able to do because of your absence. And we talked about how, most people have car insurance, most people have phone insurance, but you don't insure your phone because you expect it to break. You insure it because you can't afford the disruption. So why then, if you will insure your car and you will insure your phone, why are you not willing to cover or protect the most valuable asset in your household and in your sphere of influence, which is your income? Is there anyone out there that's wondering, what is she talking about? Well, most families are not protected. If you look at the statistics, most families are not protected, and things happen every day that we can't prepare for, whether it's medical related or financial related or social related. Different things come up every day that affect your ability to sustain the lifestyle that you want, or even improve it for those who are in a growth stage right now where you are intentionally trying to improve your lifestyle in different ways. So I today would like to speak to you about one of the things that I think people really misunderstand and downplay. I've been seeing all kinds of crazy stuff on social media where people are downplaying term life insurance. Term life insurance is a huge asset and risk management tool that you can use to protect what you love. If you didn't know, this month is actually Protect or Insure Your Loved One Month. It's a national celebration today. So I would be remiss if I did not speak with you about that before the close of this month, since it is National Insure Your Loved One Month. So let's deep dive into term life insurance and try and give you a better understanding of what it is and how it works. So with term life insurance, it is temporary insurance coverage. It usually has a lower cost than other types of life insurance, and it's a tool for risk management. One of the biggest benefits that I don't think I've heard anybody talk about that's out here speaking on insurance and throwing out concepts like be your own bank and, more doing things like that is you don't have to start with a large amount of insurance. You could start, or a large premium insurance. You could start with a term life insurance policy. And in doing so, it would allow you to do what is called lock in your insurability. So what does that mean? If you're young, you're getting ready to graduate from high school, and you are young, you're healthy, you're vibrant, you can get a term life insurance policy and lock in your ability to get more insurance later without going through certain parts of what they call underwriting, meaning you won't have to re-qualify for different types of policies in the future that you may need based on your goals and the destination that you want to go in your life and the things you're trying to cover. So again, term insurance locks in your insurability, giving you an option to convert to a permanent insurance later without having to redo or re-qualify for insurance. Now, one real world life scenario that term insurance is often used for is to cover your debt balances. So, some people talk about mortgage protection. That's a term life insurance policy, which is going to cover the balance of whatever your debt is. This is going to protect any loans that you have out. It's good for covering medical bills. If you have any co-debt, for my wives out there who are actively building credit, purchasing vehicles or anything with your spouse, it's going to cover your spouse. Because if something happens to you and your income needs to be replaced, the bills that you all created while you were actively contributing income will not disappear just because you disappear out of the scenario. So term insurance is really good for covering any debt balances you may have. You can also use it, probably one of the more popular ones that people are aware of is you use it to protect your loved ones or people who depend on your income. It's unfortunate today, many people are living so much longer, but not all people are living longer. People are being removed from their life force at just alarming rates from very, very young. Open any newspaper, going to your email and look at any of the articles, and it's talking about someone who may have left this world unexpected and before their life could really blossom in terms of having time on earth. So protecting your loved ones or the people that live on your income is very important. Because what happens? What if you have, if you're a mother and you have a child with a disability and they have very specific care requirements that you help to steward, facilitate, administer, and something happens to you, what's going to happen to your child? Who's going to cover the cost? We don't want to leave them behind or any loved one behind without making sure they are completely covered, right? And what about for all of my business owners out there? I'm a business owner. A lot of you who are listening, you're business owners, whether you are creatives and you have a craft fair booth because you are you value freedom and freedom in your time and freedom in the control of what you do with your life and how you do what you do. You value creativity. You are a problem solver and solution focused. So you take things that you have to sell to these craft fair markets, and you earn, either extra income, and sometimes that becomes a full income if you stick with it and it begins to grow. Or maybe you are a real estate investor and you're partnering with other investors, either through a REIT, real estate investment trust, or some type of private held acquisition company or set up structured buy sell agreements for different things that you have. If you are a business owner and you're purchasing real estate and you're working with someone, maybe one of you does all of the background where you identify the properties and you're the one that goes in and assesses the property value, and you're the one who sets up all the contractors to do any maintenance and upkeep on it, and then your partner is the one who actually lists the property and goes to find buyers and things like that. You need both of you. So if one of you, if something happens, you want to have a protection to be able to cover the cost of replacing that other partner. Term life insurance is an income replacement tool, and it can be used when structured properly to continue business operations, no matter what type of business it is. Even if you are a beauty business owner or something like that, as am I, you can use this term coverage. Maybe you are starting small and you're planning on moving into a building or acquiring real estate, or you're planning on doing something that will require collateral because it's a big purchase item. By having term insurance, that's one less thing you have to worry about. And the sooner you qualify for it, the better the rate will be. Why? Because term life insurance, when you go through underwriting with the insurance company, one of the key factors in determining cost is age. Age and health. The younger you are, the healthier you are, the better your opportunity to really get good prices for actually large amounts of coverage. I mean, I'm not talking about a $10,000 policy. I mean, with term life insurance, you could get a $600,000 policy. You could get $1 million policy, a $2 million policy, something that will actually not only pay off debt, but have money left over for your beneficiaries, so that, they really have a better chance of sustaining the lifestyle that you all have built. Because there are plenty of bills that will have to be paid out of your state should you pass. And so you want to think about how much it costs you to live the lifestyle you have, including any debt that you have. You want to kind of figure out what that number is. What are all the expenses that you have? And then you want to have more than enough to cover those expenses, where any loved ones that are left behind may have a large enough amount where they can actually continue life and grieve without worrying about having to do a GoFundMe or something like that. So term insurance is a huge tool. And then, of course, estate taxes. When individuals pass away, anything that you own that's in your name, it's going to be taxed. So even if you have a beneficiary and all of that stuff, there's going to be a tax before it can be transferred. So when we're talking about estate planning, term is a tool that can be leveraged for estate taxes. So just wanted to go through a couple different scenarios on how powerful term insurance can be, because again, most families are not protected. They're dependent on someone's income, and term life insurance turns dependence into stability. It kind of replaces your income so your family can grieve without the financial pressure. Now, here at Student of Wealth Hawaii, as you know, we like to think of wealth in all 7 dimensions. It's not just about growing money. Finance is definitely one of the dimensions of wealth, but there are other dimensions. So I want you to think about what you've already built. Is it exposed? Do you currently hold real estate? Do you have a business and a brand you've been cultivating over time? Are you a mom raising beautiful children? Do you have a marriage in place? I mean, these are things that have already been built. So when we're talking about having more of a wealth protection mindset, because everything is a mindset. Thoughts become things. There used to be a book, The Secret. They used to talk about thoughts become things. So mindset is super important. And a wealth mindset is about defending what you've already built. And term insurance protects, like I said, business partners, lenders, and long-term investments from collapse. Having a child is an investment. Any one of us who is married knows that choosing a partner as a life partner, that is an investment. We should really consider protecting it, or what it means to not protect it, and how that type of exposure of lack of risk management could affect us now and later. I guess what I'm trying to get across to all of you that are listening out there, and aloha, aloha, aloha. If you're just joining us, you're listening to Student of Wealth Radio Hour. I'm your host, Aviela Aloha, your business structure clarity agent. And I am just really, really wanting you to understand that term insurance is not about you. Insurance in general is not just about what's going wrong and reacting. It's about protecting all the things that are going right. It's about everyone who is counting on you. If someone would struggle financially without your presence, protection is not optional. It's a form of leadership. And so I want to tell you a story about my own father, and one of the things that inspired me to and got me passionate about really just trying to educate people on what it means to have insurance, what it means to not have it, and what it means to not have enough. So just a few years back, I got the call that my father was in the VA hospital and he was sick and had been coughing up blood and all this type of stuff. He checked himself in, and the folks there let me know he came in, he was smiling and laughing and cracking jokes. Well, fast forward to him being assessed there. By the time I got there, they wanted to put a trach in his throat. What does that mean? That means that he can no longer talk properly, because the type of trach that they put in his throat didn't have like a voice activation box connected to it. And part of the reason is the price. The price for the regular trach costs one amount, but the price for the trach that will actually give you voice and the ability to speak is way more. So he had insurance, but the question is, how much insurance did he have? Well, the insurance that he had would cover the lower cost. And if he wanted to upgrade to the voice activated trach option, he would have to come out of pocket for the additional cost. And that would have to be paid in advance, or it would have to be taken out of his estate if he were to pass away. So I'm there in Kansas City, Missouri with my father. I experience him suffering right in front of my eyes. I see the look on his face when he realizes that he can no longer talk, because when you're sick and you're not feeling well and people are offering solutions to move you away from pain, you're more open to a lot of things that if you weren't distracted by pain you would never entertain. My father had a wonderful singing voice. Like I said, he cracked jokes all the time, very upbeat personality. All he knows is he's feeling horrible because he keeps throwing up, and the solution they provide for to manage that for him was the trach. So I'm there before they put it in. I follow him. I go with him and his nurses to the operating room. Whereas when we got on the elevator, the most devastating thing happened to me. They were not able to find that one of his wires got disconnected, causing him to lose breath. So I was there in the elevator with him, and I'm listening to my father gasp for air. He is literally gasping for life. If somebody doesn't figure out what wire came out and where to place it back in soon, he could literally run out of breath right there in front of me. When you're in the elevators, there was like 6 of us in there in this long hospital bed, if you can imagine. So it's this long hospital bed. Behind the bed, behind his head, there's machines, and there's all these wires. They're making noises. They're plugged up. And then there's 3 people on the right side. There's 3 people on the left side of him. And somehow, with fitting his hospital bed into the elevator, he disconnects from some wire that has now taken the oxygen source away from him. Okay, so we go a couple floors, we get out the elevators. As soon as they're able to push the hospital bed through the elevator door to get off the elevator, now they can see where the wires, they reconnected. But by this time, he's making some of the most obscene noises that only someone who's experienced something like that could imagine, the gravity and the weight on your heart. When you hear the sound effects of death. It's something that we don't talk about. At least I've never been in communities where they prepare you for this type of thing. But they did luckily find it before he ran out of breath, whisked him off to emergency operation, added the trach, and when he came out, he realized that he would never speak again. Now, what does that mean? My father had some insurance, but he couldn't tell me where to find it. He couldn't tell me the name of any company he was doing business with. He couldn't tell me any policy numbers. He couldn't tell me about his mortgage and who he pays the mortgage for, what the amount of the mortgage is. And so I was not prepared, and I had no resources to help him through that time. Talk about being super frustrated. Now, all the while I'm there, the hospital is asking me for money to cover certain bills that, again, I'm not prepared for. He didn't have a long-term care policy in place. He didn't have a disability insurance policy in place. He did have term life insurance in place for a specified amount. Now, I was only able to, I live here on Maui, so I'm only able to stay there for a short period of time. I did as much as I could. I got his mail, and that's where I was able to find some things, call these different companies to let them know what's happening, that he's in the hospital. Well, here's the thing. If you have a mortgage and that is a monthly bill that you're paying, 1, there's property taxes, and 2, you only have set amount of time where you can go without making payments before they foreclose on that mortgage. So I had to try and figure out, how do we salvage this mortgage without me having what they call a power of attorney, which is a legal document that gives an individual the legal clearance to do business on behalf of someone else who is incapacitated or for some reason cannot handle their own business. So he's got a mortgage because he owns a home. He's in the hospital. He has insurance, but the insurance he has is running out quickly. He has not filed for his Medicare, Medicaid yet. The process of trying to get that can be lengthy, and it's even more difficulty when you need it now. It's better to have had that if he would have had it in place before he checked himself in to this hospital. So once his insurance starts to run out, my next challenge is now they want to move him to what they call a skilled facility. They have to take him out of one hospital and move him to another hospital because his funds have run out. And he has funds, but other funds, but those funds are for a skilled facility. So now he is forced to leave where he checked himself in to go somewhere else. Meanwhile, the mortgage is still not being paid. There is no insurance payments coming that he can access actual cash in real time. Everything is being done behind the scenes, behind his back, without his awareness and without his insight or input. Okay, y'all. So again, this is my father that I'm talking about. So definitely something that I'm doing my best not to take personal, but really understanding how fragile the systems are in healthcare and how important tools like different types of insurance, again, long-term care, disability, because he was off from work, couldn't work, all this kind of stuff plays when somebody needs money now, having access to something now. Now let's fast forward. I was able to contact the mortgage company. They would let me make payments on the mortgage, but they couldn't tell me any information. So I don't know how much the balance is. They couldn't tell me how much the payment is, but I could make a payment without knowing what the past due amount, anything. So very, very frustrating. Needless to say, I went down there. I ran out of time. I couldn't do anything because I did not have the resources in place for me to do so. I get back home, and a short time later, I get the next call. My father has passed away. Now, he has a will, but he doesn't have a trust. And in his will, there is a term life insurance, and he has his requests for what he wants to do in the will. But when you have a will, you have to go through a legal process known as probate. And probate is a lengthy process where they're going and they're finding out what all assets he has, who he owes, and they are making an assessment on all the things based on that. So probate, y'all, lasted over a year. And at the end of it, he had claims from that hospital for the care that they gave him that took more than half of the benefit that would have been coming from the life insurance policy that he had. Was a term policy. The amount was not high enough. The amount of coverage was not high enough to cover his expenses and leave options for transfer of wealth. Like, for instance, we had the opportunity to purchase his house, but I don't know how many of you know this. I didn't know this, so I just want to share, and I hope that this is valuable because these are things that are real life transitions that some people don't get to talk about in advance. Now, I had the opportunity to own his house, but in order to own his house, I had to be able to qualify for a mortgage to take over or pay for his mortgage in full and any taxes that go with it. And I had to be able to do that in a short period of time with no notice. I was not in a position to do that at the time, because it also requires me to spend a lot more time where the home is. Now, that was an if I would have been better prepared, not necessarily financially, I could have done that, but I didn't even know the process. So that I could have covered the cost of acquiring the house in terms of the actual balance on the mortgage, but it's all the other costs like cleaning the house out, the taxes, as I mentioned, having it assessed, hotel room or whatever while I'm there, because I have to be able to go to different offices and fill out paperwork and do this. The opportunity cost involved would be me not being available to style people's hair or to do my craft fair booth or any of these different things that are in place as part of my financial plan structure. I would have had to abandon those things. Web sales and all of that could still be coming in, but who's going to fill the web sales, right? Again, when you are absent from the scenario, what's going to happen? I had to be absent. I literally had to leave, not because I was sick, but because someone I loved was sick and I was responsible for was sick. So I wasn't able to do that. So what happens? It goes into the estate, and now the medical bills that he compounded over time, they're able to make a claim for like half of what the policy was. And it's not that it was a huge number of expenses. It's just the amount of death benefit for the term policy that he chose wasn't sufficient to cover those expenses. So myself and my brother, we were left to figure that out, again, without any preparation. That could have went so many ways if he would have been able to have a conversation with us, maybe before he checked himself into the hospital, maybe before he agreed to get this trach in his. There's just so many opportunities where we could have done so many things better if we had clarity on the process, the order of operations, and what we needed as far as resources in order to defend his estate, defend his wealth, perpetuate his wealth generationally, pass it down. We were not prepared. And so this is just an example, real world, of how having term insurance but not having enough, could affect the people that you leave behind. So again, term insurance is not about you. It's about everyone that's counting on you. I hope you all are really listening and hearing me as I talk about this. This is a real situation for all of us who are daughters. We have parents. There will come a day, if not your father, your mother, right? All of us who have Hanai. What about our Hanai family? People need clarity around financial education topics such as this. So this month, at Student of Wealth Hawaii, we are actually going to launch something special. Every first Thursday of the month, we will host our Student of Wealth kind of clarity masterclass webinars. It's live. It's an interactive session designed to help you protect your income and grow your wealth and build legacy with intention. So if you've been listening and thinking, oh, wow, I own a home. How do I protect my asset, what I build? I have children. How do I make sure they won't have to go through what Aviella went through, having to go and visit her father and being completely helpless and almost useless in terms of being able to deliver solutions to him? If you're thinking, I need clarity, but I don't know where to start, this is your space. Now, I do have a promise for you all, because this is not a sales webinar. It's not a sales webinar. It's not a sales webinar. It is not a sales webinar. It's a clarity experience. You will leave with strategies and next financial moves. This is about insight. It's about education. And gearing up for next month, we're going to do a 7-day listener challenge. That's right, a 7-day listener challenge. So this week, I want you to protect what you love, secure what you've built, and lead your family with clarity. So day 1, it's going to be awareness, where we write down every person who depends on us financially: children, spouse, business partners, parents. Clarity is always the first step to leadership. And then on day 2, we talk about income truth. Like, we write down our annual income. Then we multiply it by 10. That's the economic value of our presence. I'll say that again. Your economic truth. What is it? How do you find out what that number is? Write your annual income, then multiply it by 10. That's the economic value of your presence. Your income is an asset. Protect it like one. And then on day 3 of the listener challenge, we're going to focus on lifestyle reality and list all the monthly expenses our families have, or your family would still have if you were gone. We want to approach protection in a way that's not emotional. We're going to approach protection in a way that's mathematical. And on day 4, we go towards risk mapping, where we identify the top 3 financial risks in our lives today. Is it debt? Is it a mortgage? Is it business obligation? Tuition? Why? Because what you don't name, you can't defend. We're going to write it down and make it plain. And then on day 5, it's the protection gap. Can estimate how much coverage you currently have. Subtract that from your income value, and this will tell you your protection gap. Most families don't have a wealth gap. They have a protection gap. And this is all something you can do on your own. But if you would like assistance doing that, you can definitely reach out. I'll be more than happy to assist you. That way we can talk about, where you are and where you want to be. And if there is a gap, together, we can build a bridge. Now on day 6, this conversation is important. This is where you talk to your spouse. You talk to your partner, you talk to your family about protection. Not fear, not death, stability. Why? Love speaks. Silence creates confusion. So if you need any assistance, again, this is something you can do on your own. Day 7, if you want a copy of this, if you didn't get it all written down, maybe you're driving, listening to my voice today, that's totally fine. You know the website. You can go there. You can see the steps. It'll be posted for you, or you can schedule a clarity session or protection review. There's no pressure. It's just alignment. This session is sponsored by Student of Wealth Hawaii, and this is what we do. Again, this is not a sales webinar. You are invited. So, I've tried to bring information that I think is relevant. We are all at different places in our lives at different time, and my goal for the Student of Wealth Radio Hour is to open up discussions and have conversations with you, like you're standing here, like we're friends, homegirls, ladies, because a lot of times, if you're like me, there's no one to talk to us about this. If you're in a traditional situation where the men handle all the bills and you're handling, the home, you just may not know. But an informed woman can change the world, I believe. And I'm here to be a clarity agent for you. So if you have any questions about anything, I'm more than happy to put together discussions like this on Student of Wealth Radio Hour. This way I know I'm delivering content that is important to you, right? I'm definitely here for you. I hope that comes through. I'm definitely here for you, wanting to prepare us, women who want wealth, women who want to be good stewards of all 7 dimensions of wealth. Not just finance, but our relationships, our health, our social interactions, education, our experiences. It's very, very important. If my father would have had enough term insurance, and he had, one policy, but you can have as many policies as you can afford. What if even if he just had the one policy and it was a smaller amount and it only covered the cost of his medical bills and paying off the mortgage and all of that stuff? What if he would have had a whole nother policy that could have been divided between myself and my brother, so that we can actually have seed to plant in our lives, to the next generation? And I realize there's some people who have children, they don't want to leave anything to their children. Like, not everybody's into it. I've spoken with enough clients to know not everybody is into leaving something for their children. They're just not. But there may be a charity you want to leave something to. What if there was something left for a charity where they could have purchased that home, which was my father's, turned it into a rental and used the rental income to support their missions for their non-for-profit? So, it's an opportunity lost forever. So I'm hoping that these type of conversations will get you to think about what you want to protect and who you want to protect and how, and what you want to happen with the things that you've already built. So on today, I got some action steps for you. I want you to calculate your annual income. Again, how do you do that? Multiply your annual income by the number of years your family would need support. This is your starting protection number. Next, I want you to identify who needs protection. When you talk about putting a plan together, you need to know what, and need to know who, right? So ask yourself, who would be financially disrupted if I were gone? Is it my children, my spouse, business partners, investors, my parents? How many of you have a parent that's living in your space? How many of you have a parent that you have to supplement income? If that's you, you know what it's like when you have to choose from something you want to do with your money and something someone else wants to do with your money. You feel me? So this is where these long-term care comes in. And there's other types of insurance. Today, we're just focusing on term because it's the lower cost. And again, this month is about insuring your loved ones. And so I'm just wanting you to think about, your life and the legacy that you want to live and the legacy you want to leave. Because I'm living my legacy in real time. My goal is to educate 1 million women and turn them into purpose-driven wealth creators. And man, it's not to exclude you, but having lived this long, what I know is, in my experience, men don't listen to me anyway. So just as a focus, I'm focusing on women. If there's men who have questions, that's fine, but it's just my experience. Maybe you're different. I don't know. But most men that I've experienced, they don't listen to me. So I'm assuming you might not too. But if you are one of the, select few whose eyes are opening and whose ears are listening, then by gosh, I am not trying to say I don't want to help you. That's not the key. But That remains to be seen. I'm just wanting women, we need each other. Each of us needs all of us. Financial education is the key to changing the whole world. Educate a woman, you educate a community, is what I believe. So, number 3, close that protection gap. How do you do that? Do some research. Schedule a protection overview with somebody. Not to buy, but to gain clarity about what is at risk and how much coverage you actually need. So, as we close for the day, I want to give you peace about prosperity, because we want protection before prosperity. Wealth begins with risk management. It is the foundation. And we use risk management tools to leverage ourselves and our assets and protect them. So, in the spirit of peace of mind, I want you to remember this acronym: PEACE. P-E-A-C-E. P, protect your people. E, evaluate your income. A, assess your risk. C, close the protection gap. And E, execute your plan. Before you chase wealth, chase peace. Protect, evaluate, assess, close, execute. I hope this has been valuable for all of you today. Again, my name is Aviella Aloha. As you know me in the community, I am a hairstylist. I do all the braids, the extensions, the dreadlocks. I am a vendor. I create my own products. I make them available as solutions to people in the marketplace. So, in the name of Jesus, be blessed and have peace in your finances. Till next time, aloha.
If you're planning on visiting the headquarters visitor center past the park entrance in February, be forewarned it will be closed for renovations from February 16th until the 27th. The Haleakala Visitor Center near the summit will be closed from February 19th to April 10th.